Let's be real. Who doesn't want to feel youthful for as long as possible? We see all these promises everywhere about turning back time. But you know what? The real secret isn't in some expensive bottle. It turns out aging isn't just something that happens to us. It's a process we can actually influence, right down to the cellular level. So that leads to the big question, right? I mean, this is the million-dollar question. Beyond just looking younger, can we fundamentally pump the brakes on the aging process happening inside our bodies? It might sound like science fiction, but the answer is surprisingly yes. See, the research is really clear on this. It points to 5 incredibly powerful but totally doable wellness habits that can do just that. They're all backed by science, and they can help you live a longer, healthier, more vibrant life. So let's start hacking that clock. First up is what I like to call the yoga effect. And look, this isn't just about being able to touch your toes. We're talking about real rejuvenation, deep down inside your cells. What's so amazing about yoga is how it works on so many different levels at once. So on a microscopic level, it can actually have a positive impact on cellular aging by cutting down on oxidative stress. But then it also tackles the really practical stuff, right? Like improving your balance and mobility, which is huge for staying independent, helping to keep your mind sharp, and lowering stress and inflammation, which are basically accelerators for the aging process. And this isn't just some feel-good wellness talk. This is backed by some serious science. For instance, a study in oxidative medicine and cellular longevity found that just 12 weeks of yoga can slow down key markers of cellular aging. Another one, in Frontiers in Human Neuroscience, connected yoga and meditation to lower levels of cortisol, that's the stress hormone, and less inflammation. The point is, the evidence is there. Of course, rejuvenating ourselves from the inside out also means we need the right fuel. And that brings us to our second habit, the longevity diet. Because what you put on your plate has a massive, massive impact on your lifespan. 6 years. Just let that sink in for a second. According to research that came out of the famous Blue Zone studies, switching to a Mediterranean-style diet could add up to 6 extra years to your life. How? Mainly by slashing your risk of heart disease. I mean, that's a pretty powerful reason to rethink dinner tonight. And you know what the best part is? How simple it is. This isn't some crazy restrictive diet. It's all about these anti-inflammatory staples, things like olive oil, tons of fresh veggies, whole grains, and beans. Then you add in some fish for those healthy fats and just kind of dial back the meat and dairy to smaller portions. It's totally accessible and something you can actually stick with for the long haul. All right, so fueling your body is step 1. Step 2 is maintaining the powerful engine that moves you through life. And that's habit number 3, building your strength to fight against the natural muscle loss that, unfortunately, comes with age. And check out this number, because this is why it's so important. Once you hit 30, you start losing between 3 to 5% of your lean muscle mass every single decade. It's this slow, quiet decline that can have a huge impact on your metabolism, your strength, and your independence later on. That is, if you don't do something about it. You know, this process actually has a name, sarcopenia, and just knowing the term helps you understand what you're up against. It's a natural part of aging for sure, but natural does not mean you're powerless. We can absolutely take steps to protect our strength and our vitality. And here is your battle plan. It's basically a 5-pronged attack. First, you've got to make sure you're eating enough protein. It's literally the building block for muscle. Then you combine that with some kind of strength training a couple of times a week. After that, you support your body with key nutrients like omega-3s, which fight inflammation, and vitamin D, which is super important for muscle function. And last but not least, never ever underestimate the power of a simple, regular walk. It all works together. Okay, our final 2 habits. You can think of these as the foundation that holds everything else up. Let's talk about how we connect with other people and how we recharge our own batteries. So this brings us to habit 4, and honestly, this might be the one people overlook the most. It's not a pill or an exercise, it's connection. Being social isn't just a nice to have, it's a need to have for your health. If you ignore your social life, you're ignoring a huge piece of the wellness puzzle. You know, this quote from Dr. Craig Sawchuk at the Mayo Clinic just hits the nail on the head. We are literally hardwired for community. Having those meaningful social connections boosts our mood, it helps keep our memory sharp, and it can literally add years to our life. On the flip side, chronic loneliness can be just as bad for your health as smoking. It's that serious. And finally, we've arrived at habit number 5. This is the one that makes everything else we've talked about actually work, getting enough solid sleep. I mean, you can have the perfect diet, the perfect workout plan, but without good sleep, your body just can't get the full benefit. So, what does healthy sleep really mean? Well, sleep experts basically boil it down to these three keys. First is quantity. Are you getting enough hours? Second, quality. Is that sleep actually deep and refreshing, or are you waking up all the time? And third, maybe the most important, is consistency. Are you trying to go to bed and wake up around the same time every day, even on the weekends? And here's why it all matters so much. As Dr. Kenneth Wright Jr. explains, sleep is when your body's repair crew comes out to work. This is when your brain clears out toxins, your cells repair damage, and your muscles rebuild. So when you skimp on sleep, you're pretty much telling the repair crew to take the night off, and that just accelerates the whole aging process. So there you have it, your complete anti-aging toolkit broken down into 5 clear, science-backed habits. Get some yoga in your life, lean into that Mediterranean diet, build and maintain your muscle, nurture those friendships, and please get some solid sleep. These aren't just little tips. These are powerful levers you can pull to take control of your health. Look, knowing this stuff is one thing, but it's only powerful if you actually use it. So the